Automate, accelerate, dominate. How Alex Branning and Agent CRM are reshaping insurance with AI in this episode of the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast. Welcome to the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast.
We're your hosts, David and Al Denning.
What happens when a millennial couple dives headfirst into the insurance world, scales $1 million remote business, and decides to share the journey with the world?
You get the Modern Insurance Agent.
Here, we reveal the messy, magical, and sometimes hilarious realities of building a business and a life you love.
From traveling the globe to building remote teams. Yes, even working remotely on top of a mountain in the Philippines. We're sharing insights, strategies, and plenty of laughs to help agents and entrepreneurs succeed.
Because, let's face it, success isn't just about hitting numbers.
It's about designing a life that works for you.
So let's dive in and build something extraordinary together. Welcome back to the Modern Insurance Agents Podcast. Today's guest is one of the most influential tech minds in the insurance space. He's the founder of Agent CRM, a platform used by thousands of agents across the country, and he's leading the charge in the future of AI-powered insurance. But first, agents, you guys can grab all the resources, the show notes, how to get in touch with them, all the goodies we got for you guys. If you guys go to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast, you can find everything there, and we can dive on in. So now, from building tools that save agents time to rolling out the industry-first voice AI, which I'm super excited to talk about, this episode is packed with game-changing insights. And let's welcome Alex Branning. Tell us a little bit about
David,
yourself,
thank
Alex.
you so much, man. I am so excited to be here. I've been following you and Elle online for a while, and it's fun to be in the same room together digitally before we're in the same room together at 8%. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
I'm excited, and I'm definitely excited to connect in person in a couple weeks as well. So we'll just get a little warmed up here and get to share a bunch, and then we'll get to see everybody who comes out in a couple weeks there. So, yeah. And like with anything, like we've both had journeys. I don't think both of us, hey, let's end up in the insurance space one day when we were growing up. I think it's very rare unless someone's parents were in insurance. That's usually part of the categories of astronaut, professional ball player, or insurance. And so tell us a little bit about about yourself and kind of the background a little bit. It sounded like you and your wife used to run a coffee shop. Now you want to run one of the most used CRMs in the industry. How'd that happen?
Yeah. So the short version of the story is I was just a nerd who loved to code, David, and I started my business at 17. And I was just so passionate about being able to build something that people could access all over the world. And coding gave me that opportunity. And I just dove in right away, fell in love with the whole industry. I worked with some amazing people like Billabong, Chrysler. I was hired by a bunch of folks under the Branning Group name, but I hit burnout. About 13 years ago, I hit burnout after doing this for a long time, and I hired a business coach. And he was like, Alex, you need to go from coding to marketing. And I'm a very coachable person. And he said, when you do this, make a YouTube video and a blog post for all the clients you have. And I did that, David. And I worked with a lot of insurance agencies, most of them in Southern California, but then it started to spread. And in that time, the marketing business was booming. In that time, my wife and I had an opportunity to buy a coffee shop. And so that's how we ended up being coffee shop owners. She was running the coffee shop. I was running the Branning Group, and it was so much fun. But how did I get to Agent CRM? Well, that takes us back to 2020. The pandemic hit, and insurance agents they had a lot of restrictions about, face-to-face sales, making sure that the person they were selling to was, not in a hospital bed. There was a lot of protections around selling insurance. But when the pandemic hit, they removed those restrictions. And so then digital marketing became a necessary thing for these insurance agents to figure out. Well, all those blog posts and YouTube videos that I've been posting regularly, they were popping to the top of Google. And my marketing campaign, the giveaway funnel, became a huge hit. And my business literally quadrupled overnight. We grew and we expanded so fast. And in a part of that growth, we were really struggling on the back end with our processes because we were taking like 7 different pieces of software and gluing them together to get these campaigns up and running, right? You had your ClickFunnels, you had your email, you had your text messages, right? And one of the guys on my team was like, Alex, I found this new tool It's called High Level. And so we white labeled it. And it's funny, I've been in the high level space for so long that my salesperson on High Level was Sean Clark. So I was like messaging Sean with questions about this. That's how small the team was back then. And anyway, we launched Agent CRM to our users only. We were using it internally, then we launched it to our users. And David, it just took off right away, man. It was just one of those things: right place, right time, right tool, and we just blew up. Hundreds of agents came on. When we first started, I was the one answering customer support questions because I was like, I need to figure out where people are getting stuck. And now we're a team of, I think we have 30 people that are on our team with support, development, our success team, our agency teams that we have. We serve thousands of agents nationwide, and we're just continuing to really accelerate the industry's adoption of technology. I was talking to some buddies about this earlier. There's a lot of technology that's out there, but most of it, at least at the outset, is not safe for insurance agents to use because in the insurance space, we need to put guardrails around this stuff, right? About 2 weeks ago, I was talking to another insurance agent. He was using a different voice AI system, and he got in trouble because the voice AI system kind of went rogue and started hallucinating. That's just kind of what happens, right? And so it was saying things that it shouldn't have. It was making promises that the agent can't keep. And now he was in trouble. And he was like, Alex, what do I do? And I was like, well, first thing, turn off that AI system, like right now. And second thing is like jump over to somebody who actually knows insurance, right? Because when it comes to marketing, when it comes to tech, yeah, there's a lot of cool ideas, but a lot of them are not going to work for the insurance space. And the success of Agent CRM, a lot of it can come down to the fact that we take technology and we put it in a little box. So we skinny it down so that insurance agents can use it safely and compliantly and confidently.
I love that because I mean that is going to be an interesting shift and challenge for compliance, the DOI, a lot of these things when it comes down to what happens when someone's AI that's not that person or the agent is now engaging with prospects. And is it like collecting information? Is it soliciting or making any advice on insurance? Does that roll up to the agent or not?
It absolutely does.
Since it's something they're using, of course, but
yeah.
What can they engage with as just like could someone on license on your team engage with on that side? And then yes, just normal compliance of what I can say, what I can't. It's really, really interesting. And like anything, agents shouldn't be afraid of technology, but should make sure, doing their due diligence, working with people they can trust on it, and making sure to protect themselves, of course, right?
Yep. And to answer your question, it absolutely does roll up to the agent. And so any technology that comes from you or is on your website, that it is you. It represents you. You are responsible in the same way that an email sent from your email address, regardless of whether it was automatically sent by a software platform, it has your name on it. It does come back up to you. AI is the same way. Whether it's a voice AI bot, a text AI bot, whatever it is, if it's from you, it is assigned to you. You carry the responsibility and the burden of whatever that AI bot has to say. And so it's really important that you are careful with the technology that you use to communicate with your clients.
So, and this is interesting. I love agents exploring new things and wanting to be cutting edge and honestly bring a lot of stuff to this industry that is needed or just kind of really knowing what's coming into play here because AI is moving so fast too on a lot of areas. How do agents balance wanting to stay informed and learning and applying the latest and greatest with also making sure they're protecting themselves in an industry that honestly struggles to keep up in sometimes?
Yeah, well, it struggles to keep up because you have to put so many guardrails around it, right? In some different industries, whether it's real estate or e-commerce, there's not as many or in e-commerce, there's like zero regulation for, how to use technology. You can just have fun with it. And like, oh gosh, if it gives the wrong price, like the worst thing I can do is say no, right? But in insurance, you have so many regulatory boards. You have to carry E&O insurance. Like there's just a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people that are watching what you say. And unfortunately, David, there are people out there that are hunting insurance agents, wanting to go after you for, a variety of things. And so you just got to be careful. So how does an insurance agent use technology safely and compliantly? I think it comes down to really embracing the who and not trying to learn the how. It's about finding who has taken this technology and put the guardrails around it so that I can then plug this technology into my business confidently to scale up. Not how do I take this technology and put guardrails around it to plug it in? Because when you start to ask your question, how do I take this tech and put it in? Then you become the technician. You become the person that has to learn the technology when you, as the insurance agent, should be focused on the revenue generating tasks in your business. And learning technology is never going to be the best way to spend your time. It's about finding who has done this already, who has spent the dozens or hundreds of hours to figure out how to safely plug this technology into an insurance agent's office so that we can use it.
Yeah, who's already put together the use cases
Mhm.
that I can just go leverage versus, okay, this is cool technology. How do I use it, or how would it work within my business? I already know the use cases and I can go implement those because someone's put those together. So I love that. I love that you get to figure all that stuff out,
Yeah.
handle all those problems for them, and then they get to utilize it, right? And it's because honestly, yeah, it's a lot to keep up with what's going on. And so that's, hey, you can already have it built in and they can just leverage that for growing their business and protecting people, which is what they're doing as far
Yep.
as their job and growing their vision there. So, and I want to come back to something earlier because I had no idea when you initially had Agent CRM, it was before utilizing high level and that you were putting all these systems together, which is wild to me on how much probably work and trying to make things talk to each other that probably involved. So I didn't know that was kind of the case before the high level side, which I'm sure saved a lot of stress
Yeah.
on that side.
Well, Agent CRM was born as a white label version of high level. We were looking for a solution because it was like ClickFunnels and all these other different things. And then we found high level and we're like, let's white label that. And we're noodling around, what do we call it? And at the time we were just serving insurance agents. Like we were all in on insurance agents. And the guy on my team was like, what if we call it like Insurance Agent CRM? And somebody else was like, what about just Agent CRM? And that was one of the happiest accidents ever because calling it Agent CRM has helped us so much, David, make a name for ourselves because then people know like, oh, this is specifically for like insurance agents. And it's there's just so many branding benefits to that, but it was not something that we started to look for something before finding high level. There's a couple different tools, but Agent CRM has always been a high level product and will continue to be for the long term.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of high level. I think it's the most innovative, most powerful, especially for price points, everything out there. So yeah, no, great platform. We run our business off high level. I love it. So,
yeah.
So, and I know you already referenced some of the initial things that I think that was big in Agent CRM taking off with was the pandemic, was a lot of these agencies and the industry as a whole realizing that like virtual sales and technology and stuff were there to stay and opportunities and not these things of, oh, if you sell something over the phone or virtually, they're just going to cancel or fall off, and just open a whole world to people and working remotely and all these things that kind of like push the industry very quickly from maybe where it had been comfortable for a while. And then the giveaway funnel, I remember when that had come out and everybody talking about it and everything there as well. What were some other kind of aha moments that helped Agent CRM's growth over time that also kind of happened over the first couple of years?
Yeah. So two things, so the giveaway funnel is primarily the biggest thing that helped us really take off. That was in the beginning. And then we were one of the first to leverage AI. So the text-based AI, our first solution was called ScheduleBot. all it did was help you schedule. But just the fact that we had that was huge. I mean, that got us into so many doors, that the giveaway funnel would not. And so that was a huge win for us. And then we just continued to grow and scale. And one of the other things that really helped us last year, I really focused on partnerships, collaboration over competition. And because we're in a very narrow lane, all we do, David, is software. We just build software for insurance agents. And we partnered with people who serve insurance agents in a variety of other ways. And because of those partnerships, we've been able to grow and scale rapidly, um, which has been so much fun to be a part of. And so, a lot of our initial growth was based on the technology. It was based on the platform. We sustained that growth through focusing on support and continued innovation. But we have really scaled to another level with the partnerships and the collaborations that we've invested in.
And we full-heartedly believe that on our side. I love partnerships, love friends in the industry, more powerful together. And there's so many people doing cool things and just helping not only the agents and agencies grow, expand income, their visions, but ultimately what insurance agents and industry does is protecting people and making impacts on them of a nation and people that are underinsured. Honestly, like pretty much any financial analysis will be like, hey, you don't have the stuff in place, and we know the legacy and the difference that makes. I think all of us have been impacted and seen what that does. So it feels good to help others, help even more people, right? So which is what you're doing. So you serve thousands of agents. What makes Agent CRM stand out from other tools in this space? You mentioned, the text scheduler initially, and we're already hinted at a little bit of some cutting edge that you guys are putting in place now. But yeah, what are some of the things that are like, hey, this makes us stand out? Whether it's the team, features, community that you put in place.
The biggest three things of why Agent CRM is growing so fast comes down to one, the pre-built assets that we have. I'm a huge believer that the insurance agent themselves should not be building technology, should not be building marketing assets, should not be trying to write the emails. They should use a system that has already got all that stuff thought out, built out, and ready to go. So for a lot of our growth has come from people that are using high level or other high level based platforms and actually moving into Agent CRM. One of the things that High Level did last year was they allowed a sub account transfer, which means you can take all of your data and assets from one, whether it's your solo account or another agency account, and move it to Agent CRM. So that's been a huge thing for us. The area where we really made a name for ourselves is in our support. We have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week phone support, which is just unheard of. We have Zoom rooms that you can do drop in on. They're called quick fix calls, 10 minutes with our team, hop in, get the problem solved, and you're done. And then our community, you hinted at it. We have a community of thousands of agents that share their wins, their questions. We're able to post updates in there. And then we have a great community of users that looks out for each other. It's not about competition with other agents. We're all about collaboration inside of the community. It's like what's winning for them is going to help other agents win as well. And we're able to take those wins and share them. It's like we're in this, inside of the Agent CRM community. It's kind of like we're in a 4,000 person mastermind in our Facebook group, right? And we're hearing what's working, what's not working, what needs to be, fixed, what can be built on. And we're able to take all of that data and then use it to build out the very best systems and to continue to innovate, continue to, put things out there that nobody else does, right? And when one person finds something that's winning and they share it, that means that, hundreds of other agents are now getting that information and they're able to implement it as they will. And so, we have a lot of insurance agents that use Agent CRM and are not in our Facebook group. But man, we have, I think at last count actually we had close to 6,000 agents in that Facebook group. And it is a vibrant, energetic community of agents that are there to help each other out. And it's really fun to be able to be a part of it. And I think that's one of the biggest drawing cards to Agent CRM.
That's so powerful. And, most people would probably be like, oh, it's a certain piece of technology, but it's that community. I love Mastermind. I love Knowledge Share. I love, agents and others supporting each other. As I think it can feel really lonely in this industry, especially if you're not working out of an office, which I think a lot of agents are not, and working remotely. And most of our whole team's distributed, right? And so being able to be around others and share knowledge, and it's powerful, right? We were just talking about brotherhood and being there for each other, and the powerful impact that makes. And I think that's something very, very needed in this space. And so I love seeing communities that are powerful and supporting each other. So I love that. I love that. That's the most powerful thing that stands out is the community and the support, which you're a lot of technology and other high level frustration is no support on anything. So that is worth its weight in gold when you actually have support on a tech issue with someone. Hey, I understand this. I can click and solve that for you in 2 seconds versus spending hours trying to solve it yourself. I hate doing research on tech issues myself.
And our support team knows insurance too, David. Our support team knows insurance. One of the, there's an agency that, we recently onboarded. They were trying to build out their own Go High Level account and give sub accounts to their agents. And one of the things they realized is that while there are people that can help them with Go High Level questions, there are not a lot of people that know Go High Level and insurance. And without the combination of the two, the technology can be built in such a way that actually doesn't serve the insurance agent. And so it's important to find both. And that's why another reason why I think Agent CRM is doing so well is that our team knows insurance, and we're able to support the agents that come on like our quick fix calls or, the one-to-one time. They go, I'm a life insurance agent and I need help with this thing. My team's like, oh, we know life insurance really well and we know Agent CRM really well. Let me help you plug the gaps and get the system up and going. And it just makes the process to go from I'm starting an Agent CRM account to Agent CRM account is actually making me money now really quickly. Like we've really been able to collapse the time from new account to, wow, this is actually working for me really fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge on that speed, but also the compliance side of being able to answer the questions like, oh, is this HIPAA compliant, or have HIPAA, capabilities being HIPAA compliant? And you ask people outside, then what's HIPAA, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that's kind of important, right? And so I love it, right? When someone understands the industry they're serving, they're able to help it even more, right? Speak the same language, right? So we talked about the support and the community aspect. As far as Agent CRM in general, what maybe features or systems do you see agents underutilizing the most? Of hey, these are really powerful areas. I'd love to see agents using some more, or maybe just using for the first time, like some of the AI side.
Yeah. So I think one of the most underutilized tools is also one of the most used tools, and that is text messaging. A lot of agents use texting, but they don't use it enough. A lot of agents will rely on email to stay in communication with their book of business, which is cool and powerful, but how many of us actually read the emails that come through? Whereas the text messages that go through are read over 98% of the time. And if your client has trusted you as their insurance agent, they are expecting you to take good care of them. And so it's important to make sure that they know that you're reaching out. So I think the average insurance agent should send more text messages. When it comes to AI, man, the AI is so incredibly powerful now. It started for us internally. It started as just a scheduling bot, but now, you can train Agent AI on your insurance product, and if you put the data in the CRM, Agent AI can read the information that is stored about that contact. And so if they were to ask the question, hey, what's my policy number? I need to submit a claim or something like that, it can pull it from the CRM without you having to do the manual work, which is just so dang cool. And it allows you as the insurance agent to let some of the AI do some of the customer support, which is awesome. But as far as the underutilized text messaging, one of the things where a lot of our agents were kind of having a hard time was in getting a professional website. That is so important when it comes to personal branding. And I know you and Elle work on this a lot. But one of the things that we discovered, and like I said, this 6,000 person mastermind that we have in the Facebook group is, a lot of insurance agents will generate leads or buy leads, and then the leads don't answer. They don't return phone calls. And we started to look at what is the data here? Like, why do some agents get callbacks and why do some don't? Is there even a connection to it? What we found in our research is that the agents that have a good online presence, and when I say good online presence, David, I just mean they got a professional looking website. It doesn't have to be special, just it's there and it looks good. And they have an online presence where on their Facebook or LinkedIn, they're talking about insurance, the agents that have done I'll call it the bare minimum to get a professional, a personal brand, they have less leads ghost them, and they have more of their leads calling them back. And my guess as to why that is because the lead is doing their research on the insurance agent. And if they can't find information on them, it doesn't feel like they're talking to a professional. And so they will not pick up the phone and they won't call them back. And so what we've done at Agent CRM to help our agents is we've given every single one of them a website. We have what we call the Branning bundles, which is a full and complete automation for the entire customer journey, from new lead all the way to onboarding and renewal of the policies. And in that branding bundle, we also have a professionally built website for each insurance product that the agent has to offer. It's important to us to put our agents in a position for success. And so what used to be an underutilized piece of the marketing component, which was a website, was a lot of that fell on our shoulders. Like, I took responsibility for it because yes, we gave templates, but there was a little bit of work that had to be done from the agent. Now we've built these professionally done websites on the Agent CRM customizer, which as it sounds, they fill in a form, takes them about 10, 15 minutes to fill everything in, upload their profile photo, and then bam, every single marketing asset, the emails, the text messages, the websites, all of that is branded to the insurance agent. And that helps them because now when people look them up, they're able to find a professional website, and that helps them convert more of their leads to appointments. And we've seen them get ghosted less. And so it's little things like that, David, that you don't really discover unless you have the type of data sets that we have access to now that we have 6,000 agents kind of telling us what's working, what's not. And then we're able to respond and build the tools that help our agents. So that was the most underutilized thing, was our websites, but we have fixed that by making it so much easier to get those sites up and going.
Yeah, that trust and kind of initial nurture rapport, makes it so much easier. And we see the same thing why social media so effective. I can build that trust, rapport, connection prior to speaking with them, but especially on the lead side of anything I can do to have them trust me, feel more comfortable with me before even the initial contact with them makes that even easier.
Yep.
And them showing up, having this conversation. And honestly, I see that over the next 6 months near being even more powerful as it becomes like with the rise of AI and communications, like who do I talk to? Is this a real person? All these things, the more I can, I see information on them. I see that they're a real person. I see reviews. I see their site and walking through that. I see them on a video talking about something. Okay, this is a real person who I can do business with. And so I think that would be even more powerful over the next 6 months as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Speaking of AI, I definitely wanted to make sure to spend some time talking about this because I'm pretty excited about it, just even off of seeing a little initially on research. And you mentioned launching an internal voice AI and rolling it out to users. What's that going to look like? I'm really excited to hear some more about
Yeah. So we call it Loanne.ai, LOANNE.ai. Rolling out for Agent CRM users. We have a beta launch going right now, and it's going really well. Man, we are just seeing so many exciting opportunities with voice AI. Here's one thing where I think voice AI is going to be incredibly powerful in handling inbound calls and servicing clients. Where I see a lot of people talking about voice AI is in outbound sales, but I don't see a lot of potential there, David. I don't think that the outbound for voice AI is going to increase sales as much as people are hoping that it would. And here's the reason why. One, I think having the outbound AI agent for sales is a great possibility, but how many of us answer phone calls from people that we don't know? I can tell you that I have it set up so that those calls don't even ring on my phone. And by default now, the new iPhones have it so that an incoming phone call from a number that's not in your contacts goes directly to voicemail. That is the way of the future. And so if you're relying on outbound voice to get those people on the phone, you're not going to see a lot of positive results. However, if you have your outbound done by a text-based AI, then that will help you convert more of your leads to appointments. But voice AI is going to help out a ton when it comes to servicing your clients and checking in on them. Because it doesn't matter if they pick up the phone or not when you're calling to check in on how they're doing, making sure they got their card, etc. They get a voicemail from you or your AI agent saying, hey, David, this is John over at John Doe's office. I'm actually John's assistant, calling to make sure that you got your card. Let us know if you have any questions. We're going to send you an email as well. Having voice AI be that extra touch point in your client servicing and onboarding, that is where I see the most power. What I want to do is I want to get agents out of doing the things that are not revenue generating. And I see service as one of the areas where I can really come alongside an agency owner or an independent agent and help them grow their business by taking them out of the servicing piece of growing their business and maintaining their book.
I love that. And so, yeah, the servicing side, which also encompasses like setting up those policy reviews or those annual reviews and check-ins and everything, not just the nurturing side, but like, that's something agents every year, like, oh, I need to do annual reviews or set these things up, but I need to either have someone on my staff try to get around to that.
Yeah.
Or if they're solo, like I'm never going to get around to it, but it's so important. It leads to the retention and cross sells and all these things, but they already know you, already have your number saved and all these things versus, the outbound dialing and prospecting on that side with the calls, right? Like the contact rates drop each year and you think millennials, Gen Zs don't answer the phone for their own friends.
Yeah.
So like, it's true. Like it's user behavior that we have to adapt to, just like, technology agents, hey, how do our users react? And it's usually not do more of the thing that's getting tougher, but adapt to that. So,
yep.
So I love that. I love highlighting, the use cases of it and maybe not where agents initially think it will be of, oh, it's going to save me all this time of dialing, right? But more of where it does end up helping them on the agency side and allow them to spend the time on the revenue producing. Like
I see voice AI taking the customer support to a level that we haven't seen in the insurance space yet, except for like the really large agencies. I see voice AI helping the independent agent to feel to their clients like they have a large team, with being every single phone call gets answered, every single text message gets a response within a couple of minutes, right? Every single email, it's like, hey, we acknowledge your email. Here's what we think we can do to help you. Otherwise, we'll have our agent review this when he can't. It's going to feel like they have a large team, even though it's just one person, because the AI is going to be enhancing it that much. When it comes to the sales side of it, we talk a lot about dialing and having an outbound voice AI do dialing. I just see dialing, over the next 12, 24 months, I see dialing itself becoming a relic of old times, not just in insurance, just in every industry, because so many, we're all on our cell phones. Like, let's just acknowledge that we're all using cell phones, and cell phones by default are sending numbers that are not recognized to voicemail. And so the dialing itself, if you are a voice first outbound marketing firm, this is your Blockbuster and Netflix moment. Everything is changing towards the new text-based outbound. Voice-based outbound used to be the way. However, that is no longer going to become the way that you grow an insurance agency. Doing things with text and social, that's going to be the way to grow. Good news, though, David, those tools are already there. They're out there. They're really, really good. And so now you have to implement those tools. But the voice-based AI, I don't think will be as much of a revenue generating tool as some agents are hoping it will.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a powerful tool, but just maybe a different way than they think. But honestly, something they need to adapt from, anyways. From, like you said, the voice outbound, right? Like, how do I actually get in contact? Because that's the whole
Yep.
point why they're doing the voice outbound, is to get in contact. If I can do that a more effective way and still end up on the appointment and them actually coming to the appointment, then why wouldn't I adapt to that anyways, right? So I love that. So behind everything, and we'll definitely do future conversations more
Yeah.
about this as well, but coming from this, like, what's your mission behind all this? What are you hoping to make possible for agents, and just personally kind of your vision that you're working towards as well?
Yeah, I think for me, it really comes down to I want to be able to build a technology business that has a huge impact. And I love insurance agents. I could talk about why, I've had an insurance agent save my butt a couple different times, and I love the insurance space. And insurance embraced me, in the pandemic, and the insurance agent market embraced me. And so, I just love the insurance agent and the agency owners that are growing this business and building something really cool. My mission is to continue to serve. Right now, I love the amount of users that we have at Agent CRM, and I'm so grateful. There are 900,000 licensed insurance agents in the United States, and we're not even serving 1% of them. And so I know there's a lot more room to grow. I know there's a lot more people that we can serve. And I know that we at Agent CRM have to continue to improve. My goal is to make it so that, you're going to see a lot of seven-figure independent agents over the next few years, and they're going to say Agent CRM is what made it so that I could have a growing business while also balancing my work and life, balance here. Like, and they're going to point at the technology foundation that we have set up as the how they were able to do that. And it comes down to building tools that help them maintain that book of business while they work with other providers to do the lead generation and build out their social presence. And so, my goal is just to continue to serve more and more insurance agents. I think there's a lot of people in the game that, are not keeping up. And when they don't keep up, the insurance agents that rely on them are the ones that suffer. And then on the other side of that, the insurance agents that aren't using the technology that's available to them, not only are they suffering because their business isn't growing, but then the clients they serve are not able to get the help and the amount of help that I believe they deserve from their insurance agent as well. So it's a trickle down effect. If the technology provider doesn't keep up and doesn't step up, then it affects the insurance agent and all the people that the insurance agent serves as well.
I love that. And you mentioned independent, but honestly, the captive side, I see most of them so fed up with some of their systems outside of that. They're using high levels and other systems. Like, I think it's impacting them too, because listen, if the captive side doesn't keep, I'm going to go out and find a solution so my agency grows anyways. And I can't tell you how many farmers in all states that they're definitely using systems, whether the company likes it or not. Like, they're like, why am I going to potentially lose an agency by not adapting through technology? I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. We serve a lot of captive agents as well. I'm not going to name any of them because they can get in trouble, but we serve a lot of captive agents that use Agent CRM and love Agent CRM. And it's exactly right. A lot of these captives they're huge. They do a fantastic job servicing clients and helping the agents with the day-to-day. But when it comes to the marketing and sales side, some of their technology is not quite at the cutting edge. And so that's where we're able to step in and help those agents fill in the gaps. It's not about replacing the systems that their agencies are giving them. It's about coming alongside and supporting them in their mission to serve as many clients as possible and to be put in front of as many clients as possible. And that's where Agent CRM can step up for all insurance agents, independent or captive.
Yep. I love that. I mean, that's the same with us, like social side. It's a lot of, especially captive companies, a little scared on that side and show how to do it that compliantly, right? Like, it's like being handcuffed if I'm not utilizing these tools and these abilities, like, to help scale and grow. It's like, I don't want to be handcuffed. I want to use the solution one way or the other, right? So, and I think that overall, from top down, eventually noticing like, hey, these are things that are going to let us help more people. And from top down, it also has to keep up, not just the tech provider, but I think people realizing what changes need to happen too. So personally, on Alex, tell us a little bit, outside of dominating the world on the Agent CRM side, what are you doing outside of that? What's kind of the passions behind your
Yeah,
end?
so I'm when it comes to just hobbies, I love sports. I'm a huge Green Bay Packers fan. I'm a huge LA Lakers fan. So I love following up with that. I'm a movie goer. My wife and I, we were foster parents down in Southern California. Our daughter, we only have one biological daughter. Her name is Allie. She's amazing. She's going to be entering her senior year, and then after that, going off and starting her own new chapter, doing whatever she chooses to do. And my wife and I will probably get back into foster care. We have a heart for pregnant teenagers. That's the most cast out demographic in the foster system. And so we just, we have a heart for those young women who are in a tough spot. We have the heart and the resources to help serve them. And so we would love to do that. We feel a strong call to do that. And my wife and I love adventures. We love travel. We love going to different places. Well, let me rephrase that, David. My wife loves to travel and go all over the place, and I love to make her happy. So I tag along as the passenger prince. She makes the plans, and we go all over the place. She's happy. She's thrilled. I enjoy it. I enjoy it more than I think I will every time. But when it comes to the planning of it, she's definitely the one that takes the reins on that side. But we love everything that this life has given us so far. And we want to explore, we want to have fun, we want to serve others. All while doing really cool stuff like building a business and being able to travel around and meet other people doing the same type of work. It's a cool spot. We feel very blessed to be in the position we're in.
I love it. Elle and I are the same way, and it feels awesome working with your best friend,
Yeah.
too, right? And traveling with them. So, and I look forward to many more discussions with you, and look forward to connecting in person in a couple weeks as well. So, kind of as a final kind of question, if someone's building their agency and wants to use tech the right way, what's their first step?
Yeah, it's all about finding a system and a team that can help you duplicate yourself. One of the biggest mistakes agency owners make in growing their team is that they bring on a new agent, and when they're trying to set up their own technology platform, they're not only bringing on an agent to learn their own internal office culture, but then if they don't have a good tech partner, then they also become tech support for this new agent. And that is a huge time drain, David. And so the biggest thing that an agency owner can do is find a tech platform, whether that's Agent CRM or somebody else, who can train and support the agent on the technology side, while the agency owner is training and supporting the new agent on the sales and the day-to-day process. Because once you can get that agent going, like let's say you find a rock star, right? You got an insurance agent, you're like, I'm bringing them over to my team because I'll give them more opportunity, but they still have to learn the technology that you're using. And if you don't have a tech partner that can help them with that, then you are not only making it really hard for them to get up and going, but then you're taking up way too much of your time in trying to get them going up on the tech side. So find someone who you trust and you can partner with on the technology side. And I believe that it's not about finding out how to build this stuff. It's about finding who. Who can you bring on your team that can help you grow your agency? Of course, I'd love Agent CRM to be that tech partner, but there are others that are great in the space as well. But that's the biggest mistake that agency owners make, is trying to wear all the hats instead of delegating it to people that can help them really scale this thing.
Perfect. So where can others follow you, plug in what you're doing, and connect?
Well, you can find out more about Agent CRM at agent-crm.com. You can find me on Instagram, Alex_Branning. I post there with insurance marketing tips on a regular basis. I have a lot of fun on there, and you can see behind the scenes as we build out Agent CRM. I had to start a new Instagram page, David. So the first one that I did about 5 years ago, I bought followers, shame. And now my Instagram account, I'm starting over brand new. And because I'm starting over, I'm putting out a ton of free resources and content. So Alex_Branning, for those of you that want to hang out with me, meet me, and get a lot of my marketing tips. So yeah, but yeah, thank you, David. This has been so much fun, man.
Absolutely. I love having you here. And if they want to learn a little bit more about the AI
Ooh,
side, the voice
yeah.
AI that you're putting
Go to
in place, where can they maybe
Loan.ai.
go?
Yes, Loan.ai. That is the new voice AI that we're rolling out. Man, we are so proud of what we built. It is safe, it is compliant, it is really effective, and it plugs right into the CRM. Every single call that comes in is recorded and uploaded directly to that contact. I could geek out about it. I'm not going to get on this. This is not a commercial, but Loan.ai. That's where you learn all about it.
I love it. Guys, once again, reminder, if you go to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast, you can find all the links that Alex mentioned, how to get in contact with them, all the show notes, all the goodies there, and check it out. Alex, thank you once again. I appreciate your time so much. Look forward to connecting in a couple weeks in person as well, and look forward to having
Awesome.
you back.
Thank you, David.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode of the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast.